What's going on, everyone? We are back at it, ready to have some fun. How's everybody doing tonight? All right. It looks like we have a good number of people. Let's see who we have here live so far. We have David Cooper. I see David. What's going on, David? We got some good friends in the house from Chicago. We have Jason and Brandy from the Black Bourbon family. I was just about to sing it too, Jason. Who else we have here? Kind of going down. Obviously, Mrs. Judge here supporting, which is always wonderful. Can't have a production without Mrs. Judge. Also have Zoolander, which is a local Philly friend here, which is always fun. We also have my good buddy Troy Cassell representing Ohio, Columbus to be exact. What's going on, Larry Abbott? How are you, my friend? Fun times, Larry. Good times, my friend. All right, good to see you. See, we also have Sean. Hey, Sean, how are you, my man? Always good to see you, friend. Fun times. Who else do we have here? We have Nick Massey. This is like the Ohio cruise in the house, representing Cincinnati. Fun times. All right. So real quick before we bring on our special guests, let's call it just some housekeeping, some fun updates. So we are now entering, which is crazy to say, the holiday season. So I think just right around or after Thanksgiving, after Christmas time, we'll have Cousin Nita will be on the show. She's going to be on. We're going to do some live streams via Instagram, like just some real quick ones. We'll do a couple here as well. Obviously, Cousin Nita, she's going to be sipping a ton of my whiskey. So many of my old Carter bottles will probably be gone after Cousin Nita leaves. She always tells me to give her the good stuff. So she dives in for the old Carter, which is fun. But hey, sharing is caring, right? See, we got Todd and Andy from 21090. Cheers, Todd and Andy. And then last but not least, in terms of a couple other updates. Number one, I am like uber close to 10,000 subscribers. So as soon as I hit the 10,000 mark, we're going to have another fun celebration like this one tonight. Prizes, some guest judges on, just talk a little bit, everything just kind of whiskey related. So looking forward to hitting that 10,000 mark. You're right, Zoolander, almost there, literally like uber close in terms of getting to that 10,000 mark. And then last but not least, before we bring on our special guest from the Carter family, I'm going to call it, 2023 is going to be here in a second. So my goal, my dedication to everyone in 2023 is to have more collaborations with other channels, bringing other distilleries on, and just honestly, just, being more present, more live as much as possible. So have a little bit of fun from that perspective. All right, enough about me. Let's go ahead and bring on our special guests. Let's bring these gentlemen in. So there we go. So we have Mark Carter and Brian Booth. How are you, gentlemen?
Hey, we are great. And so happy to be here with you, Marcus.
Cheers.
Yeah.
It's our pleasure. Thank you, Marcus.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for joining. So I'm going to go ahead and start off because I know a lot of people are probably wondering. It's interesting. Brian, you look completely different than Sherri Carter.
Not as pretty, but I'll try.
Not as pretty. I agree with you. I agree. As a quick heads up, everyone, Sherri had a last minute engagement. So this whiskey world is crazy. So we appreciate Mark and then Brian joining us. So thanks so much, gentlemen. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Marcus.
Yeah, no,
Thank you.
absolutely. So let's dive into everything Oak Carter related. I have a couple bottles in front of me. I have what do I have? What did I pick out here? I have one of my favorites, the very small batch, the DC collection, number 1. So that's one I have here in front of me. I also grabbed batch 9, the straight bourbon whiskey. Oh, yeah. That's another level. And then I grabbed this is my heart right here, Brian and Mark. This is the love of my life, other than my wife. This is American whiskey batch 5.
Oh, yeah.
Amen.
Oh, yeah.
Amen.
Brought out some good ones.
Preach it, Marcus.
Yeah. What do you guys have in front of you? What whiskeys do you guys have?
Well, we have the batch 1 DC, very small batch also. And we've got the bourbon 9, and we have a rye 10, which is our brand new release of rye, which is ours. A lot of people know the story about his, hers, and ours. We started with just his and hers. one was Sherri's blend and one was my blend.
Correct.
Kind of like we blended them, but then we liked one better than the other, each of us. And so we took it around to a lot of people and, tried to make one of them be the number one thing that would come out, but it was always a split decision. So we were lucky enough to be able to produce both of those. And that's what we turned out back in 18. That was the first thing. And so we're already up to batch 10 in the rye category.
Ah, very nice. Very nice. All right. So up to batch 10 in the rye category. I need to find batch 9 of the rye because I have not found that. So that one went out. When was that one available, Mark, to the public? Roughly.
The 8, 7, 8, and 9 all went out together because we did the
okay.
Yeah, we did the 7, 8, 9, and one was mine, one was hers, and one was ours. So
love it. Good stuff. Very nice. Very nice. Ferg says he only has one Oak Carter, batch 5. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
You've got the batch 5 bourbon, man.
That's probably one of the best.
That's the coup de grace of the Oak Carter realm.
One of the things that's really funny is we don't have any of American whiskey. We don't have any of batch 5 bourbon. We actually let everything go to the distributors, or we have a pop-up, so a lot of you have more bourbons than we do. We'll be buying them back from you someday. So,
That's awesome. That is awesome. Good stuff. Hey, nothing wrong with that. I definitely have my little fair share of Oak Carter as well. Speaking of Oak Carter and whiskey, so we have, just for everyone on the live stream tonight, you see the stream going down below. We have some whiskey. We have some giveaways from Oak Carter. I have some of my mini Glens as well. So we're gonna have a little fun contest tonight. And hey, some people are gonna walk away with some Old Carter swag, some whiskey, some glasses, a little bit of everything. So make sure you guys are tuned in throughout the entire show. So that'll be fun. We'll end it on a fun note for sure. Let's see here. My good friends over at 2 to 90. What are they sipping on? So they're sipping on Oak Carter. Oh, the same. Okay. Very nice. I like it. The DC. Very nice. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff.
That was good. That was a good one.
Yeah.
It was. Indeed. Absolutely. Let's see here. Locker 87. Who has Locker 87?
Man, so I'm the director of the social club, and I have not memorized. I'm sorry there. Whiskey Nose. Hey.
Whiskey Nose.
Hey. What's up?
Sounds like Brian, you have some friends that joining you tonight here.
Yeah. Hey man, how are you? Good seeing you. Thank you for being on. Thank you, sir.
And nobody will touch Locker 87.
No one will. Yes. The locker is great.
It's on lockdown. I love it. So that's actually a good segue. So I was at down in Louisville back in August with my wife, and we popped in. Luckily, we had a chance to meet Jay. Sherri was there, Mark, so we had a chance to meet your lovely wife. And I saw like this huge and beautiful like private club with like the lockers, all these Old Carter bottles all over. I was jealous. I'm like, I need to become a member. So can you or Brian just kind of explain what's that all about, the whole private club as a whole?
Well, we can start a little bit. It was an idea that we came up with so that a lot of the people that are very loyal to us, that will be able to find Old Carter, not have to go doing a lot of searching around.
Yeah.
You basically you get a locker for $100 a month, and it gets you to take a year at a time. And we put in 6 bottles a year is what we promised, but we'll probably do more than that.
Okay.
You don't have to take the bottles, but I think everybody will. There's all kinds of, we did some single barrels already for the members. But I'm going to let actually Brian talk about it because he's in charge of it and knows almost all the people. He's putting all the
trying.
Yeah. There's right now, I think there's 200 and
there's right around 200 members right now.
Yeah. And
wow, 200. Oh,
I try to know them all. I'll get around to it.
Love it.
Mark was saying it's a year commitment in $1,200 a year. And most of the bottles, the majority of the bottles are going to be exclusive bottles to the actual Old Carter Social Club.
Okay.
It's what we call the Old Carter Club.
Cool.
So the 1OC, the 2OCs, like Mark said, we've had some single barrels that been exclusive to the club only. In fact, all but little two 100 milliliters have been exclusive to the club.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome.
So
So you're gonna have to save a locker for me too, then, Brian. In that case, we're gonna have to talk offline after this is all done, because I now need my locker. It's official. That's my Christmas gift from Mrs. Judge. She just doesn't know it yet.
hopefully you're already on the wait list, because we don't want to disappoint anybody. But all the lockers are filled that we have right now. But that doesn't mean we won't have more lockers, because we have another whole floor above us, which should be able to accommodate quite a few more members.
Nice. All right. In that case, I'll make sure that at least I get on the wait list. So that'll be my my present from Mrs. Judge. I love it. Looks like so Richard, you just poured batch 9 also. Okay, very nice. I love it, Richard. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Mr. House.
Yes.
So we have the end of the year coming up right now. Like
we're gonna pour batch 9 right now.
Oh yeah, batch 9. Oh, perfect. Oh, let me see which one I have here. Batch 9. Here we go.
Let
me grab batch 9 myself. Cheers, gentlemen. Oh gosh, this is so nice. It's a struggle to go from the DC small batch 1, very small batch, to batch 9. It's like big brother number 2.
Cheers.
Cheers, sir.
Oh, cheers, gentlemen. Very nice.
Cheers, Marcus. Thank you, sir. Thank you for having us on.
No, thanks for joining. I appreciate it.
Well,
I definitely appreciate it. Zoolander, what is that? What do you have here? Oh, Zoolander, you're sitting. Oh, wow.
Ooh, hey, where'd he go, Zoolander, man? Absolutely. So American whiskey, I love all the SKUs that Old Carter has, but my favorite SKU across the board is American whiskey.
Yeah.
I just can't get enough of it. I really appreciate and love that the Carters here were Mark and Sherri were had that hindsight to grab those really, really beautiful American whiskeys out there when everybody else was passing them up. So that was gorgeous, sir.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's funny you say that. And so across the board, don't get me wrong, I love bourbon, I love rye, and I love American whiskey. While I love the bourbon and the ryes, the American whiskeys that you guys produce are, to me, just like next level. Nothing else on the market touches it, because it's just so unique and just such a it's just an experience. It truly is an experience. Hence the reason why I'm savoring this batch 5, every little drop. I'm savoring it, every little bit of it. I love the American whiskeys. Love them.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No worries. So 21090 wants to know, and this is actually a great segue to distribution. So he wants to know, I guess Andy and Todd want to know, is the batch 10 rye going to come to the DC market?
It actually has been picked up
quite a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it should be we don't know a lot of time when our 7 distributors release things. They pick them up, and they also picked up their batch 2 DC bourbon, very small batch.
Okay.
So at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know which one they wanted to release first. And so we try to stay up on it, and when things are released. So we know when somebody actually posts that they made it to a market. Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
It makes sense. But then when you think about just like the markets that Old Carter is in, how many markets across the U.S., like roughly, like different, let's call it even just states in general, Mark? Like I know around me, if I'm hunting hard, I can find Old Carter, thank goodness, in like Delaware, DC, New Jersey. But how many different states roughly is Old Carter in?
We should be in about 10 states. Our DC is also Maryland, and a lot of times we've noticed that they have a pretty good price on our batches that go to Maryland.
Yeah.
People have reported that the retailers are holding, what really should be the retail. And most all of our products are really at $200 retail.
Yep.
All the, small batch and very small batch, and even the American whiskeys are all the same price. And we really haven't raised that price since we came out in 2018 with our first releases.
Okay, good stuff. That's good. That's good. And then online wise, is there a huge online presence for Oak Carter, like with your, let's call it like the likes of like Bourbon Outfitters or Sillbox or any of the other distribution channels, or what does online look like for Oak Carter? Or if not today, maybe like in the future?
I think that's too premature. Right now we're just trying to feed our distributors and our pop-ups, our in-person pop-ups here at the distillery, and of course
The locker program.
So we want to really give love to those kind of independent kind of distribution channels before we even think about going to anywhere online or anything like that.
Yeah. In fact, just the last few months, we went to Tennessee and we started releasing. So they got a very small batch.
Okay.
They got
Tennessee.
a 3-barrel small batch, our DSB, and we're only in 2 cities there. We're in Nashville and Chattanooga. So anybody in Nashville and Chattanooga, you can kind of look for them. Kind of look for it there.
That's awesome. Good
stuff. N1 there.
Good stuff. I like it. So Nashville and Chattanooga in Tennessee. All right. I have to let my some of my good friends down. I have a ton of friends in Nashville, so I know they're big Oak Carter fans. So that's good to know. Good to know. 21090 says that they want to give credit to Sherri for batch 7. Some of the best ryes ever. I love it. Good stuff, Andy and Todd. I like it. Very nice. Very nice. All right, let's dive into this batch 9. I want to just get into the nose on this. What I've always loved about this one. Oh my gosh, this is like a roller coaster of just. It's more above and beyond like a traditional like caramel notes. You get a lot of like fruit notes of like caramel. I'm sorry, some strawberries, some blackberries. Oh gosh, it's so nice.
I'm going to steal this from Mark.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mark's favorite tasting note. It's delicious.
We go on and on about some of the tasting notes sometimes, but a lot of times we just get down to, is it delicious?
Does it, can you drink it? Is it palatable? And is it complex?
Yeah. And that's it. Is it something that we love, represents the brand? We're good to go.
Absolutely.
I love it. All right. So I got a question for you guys. So you got releases coming out, as we just talked about. End of the year, beginning of the next year. What's some of the cool things that are coming out, like maybe new releases that maybe is different, or just people should be aware of as a whole for Oak Carter, just high level?
Well, we have been very busy this last week blending batch 9 and 10 of the American whiskey, which they'll be coming out hopefully in about 3 to 4 weeks. They may be out there in the marketplace, and that's what we're really hoping for. Also, we still have our bourbons to blend. So we'll start working on that next week. We'll get our samples and go through that.
Very nice. Very nice. Oh, that sounds delicious. If you get bored, Mark and Brian, and you're like, you know what, we need someone else to taste these just to make sure that they're up to our standards, I'm always there for you. I just want to let you know that I always have your back.
we appreciate that, Mr. Marcus. Thank you.
We'd love to have you come down and taste it and say yes, that will work.
That works. Okay. I love it. Here's a good question. It looks like so Troy Cassell, one of my patrons, he said, so he wishes Old Carter was in Ohio.
We wish Old Carter was everywhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's just be honest, right? Let's give all the love out to, everybody that enjoys our product and that supports us first and foremost. So cheers to everybody to the love, the support.
Thank you.
We're here for you. We're trying to make more products. Absolutely. And we wish we were everywhere, but it's got to be strategic and it's got to be the right play. So, Mr. Troy, I do too, but unfortunately, we're not there yet.
Yeah. We try to actually do everything with integrity on the brand and not just release because we could. We want to make sure everything we do is as good as we can do, and we really aren't going to turn something out that we're not happy with.
We're not going to get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
So true. So true. You want to stretch yourself too thin.
Yeah.
Right. We want good product. We just don't want product out there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We want really great product.
Great
That's
product, yeah.
that's really what we're shooting for.
Mhm.
Yeah. Totally makes sense. Now it's hard, you're right, because it's, to your point, you want to be in, other markets, but you also don't want to stretch yourself so thin where it diminishes the quality of the whiskey. That's never, I remember even when I was talking to Sherri in the last time we connected, which was a while ago, she was saying the same thing, that, you never want to diminish the quality of the whiskey. So even though we might not be in this case, Troy, in Ohio, you can make a small little drive down to Kentucky and find it, which is great. So there's always sometimes, like, I always find, which is pretty cool, like bordering states, that should hopefully have the product at least somewhere nearby, which makes sense. Totally makes sense. Nick Massey, thanks so much for the support, my friend. Always good to see you on the channel. All right, good stuff there. So I had a question regarding, so we talked earlier about we have rye, bourbons, and American whiskeys. Always, uncut, unfiltered, cast strength. I don't think I've ever seen an Old Carter whiskey finished. What are your thoughts on just the whole, before we even go into like whether or not it'll happen for Old Carter, but what are your thoughts just on finished whiskeys this day and age, Brian and Mark? Like, everyone's doing everything. You have wine finishes, rum finishes, every different type of wine grape that's out there. What's your thoughts on the market with the whiskey industry and just finishing whiskeys as a whole?
I have no problem with it. I think if you can make a fabulous tasting product, however you do it, that's okay. We have been, up to this point, really very traditional.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that we do a lot of, finishing, but it's all with, new American oak, because
Correct.
we're very traditional.
Sure.
We did that with the first brand, and we're still doing that, and we love it. And
Yeah.
we did, toasted oak and, heads. So, and, that's kind of different char levels.
Mm-hmm.
And, but we're always experimenting, and, we've gotten, we want to try, we like playing around with stuff, but, if it's not going to work, it won't see the light of day. But hopefully everything that we do will actually turn out wonderful. We do have, like you were saying, the bourbon, the rye, American whiskey. We've got also the Kentucky whiskey. We got the single barrels from Kentucky, which are great. We love playing with those, and they're getting to be 15 years old now.
Oh, God.
Some of them almost 16.
Wow. Wow.
And they're all barrel proof. We've never, like you just said, Marcus, we've never cut anything since we started in the business back in 2011. And, in fact, Brian told me if I cut something, he's quitting.
No way, I'll walk away. If you had water.
If I hadn't watered anything, we're out of here, he said.
I love it. No H2O coming this way. Good stuff. No, hey, I appreciate that. So what you're saying, Mark, is the goal is to keep everything the same for now, but you're always experimenting. So you never know. But for now, the goal is to keep it BAU because it's working so well for your 3 core products. That's what it sounds like.
Well, yes, but we're also trying to do new things and experiment with new things. And if they work out, great. If not, it's not going to be out there. So
yeah,
I say let's just stay tuned and let's see what Old Carter can do in the future there.
I like it. Good stuff. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Now here's a question. This is one I don't know because I'm not in Wisconsin too often. Great question, biking bourbon. But if someone's looking for Old Carter near like the Midwest area, what's the closest state in that market that they could probably find Old Carter?
It's probably Kentucky. Well, Kentucky, I'll just run through it. New Jersey, New York. So that distributor is Sternick, and they may even have some product in Connecticut. Then we're down in DC, and there's, they have our distributor there has Prestige LaDroid has at least 3 states: Maryland, DC, and I think Virginia.
I'm not sure if it's Virginia.
Yeah, and then we go down to Georgia. We go down to Louisiana, we go down to Tennessee, we go out to California, and we go to Kentucky. So that's where we're at, and we would love to be in Florida someday. And that's a great market. We do really well with wine there, with our brands.
Absolutely.
also there's we'd love to be up a little more north, like something like around Chicago someday. That would be great, so that you don't have to travel too far, and it's a great market up there.
Yep. Absolutely. Indeed. Indeed. And I'll even answer this one for you there, Mark. So I know looks like Mel, if you're in Philly or outside of Philly, very simple. Take the quick ride over the bridge to South Jersey. It's all over South Jersey. I've gotten several of my bottles personally in South Jersey.
Yeah.
So
New Jersey.
New Jersey. So New Jersey. So that's a quick, easy drive, Mel. Just take the bridge, take a ride over the bridge, and you should easily be able to find some Oak Carter in New Jersey, which is great.
Thank you, Marcus.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, no worries. It's hey, it's try to help out our local Philly team here.
The whole thing, sharing is caring, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anytime, Brian. Anytime. So when you guys are blending whiskey, this is I know something that it's always on my mind. It always turns out fantastic. There has to be some type of a secret, like a magical recipe, something that you guys are doing, because I don't know how you're producing fantastic bottles and whiskey barrels like every single release. How do you guys what's the secret to blending as a whole, high level, whatever you can share?
Well, I think we're very lucky. I was saying this the other day that we may be the only kind of blending team with Sherri and myself. And we both have, similar palates, but we also have things that we like that we can bring to when we blend.
Yeah.
And, it's, we go through all the barrels, every barrel before we start blending. And let's say we take 50 barrels, we may only get down to 25 barrels that we'll be using.
Okay.
And so that's one of the things we do. And we're always searching for I think a lot of the same things with that richness, that depth, that complexity, great aromatics on these, so all those things are what we're searching for. We never know what we're really going to get, because it's kind of like each kind of offering we do, each batch we do is always new. And as long as it really does something to us and our soul, when we taste it, and if it raises a hair on the back of our arms or our, back of the necks, like some great music, or, then we feel like we kind of hit it. And, we both look at each other and say, yeah, that's going to do. That's great.
That's going to do it. No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
No, that's good though. That's good.
I'll say this and it's Mark and Sherri coming from a wine background, really.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what really honed their palate, what they really enjoy, and how to identify what barrels to get, what barrels not to get.
Sure.
That is the heart and soul. And then we have different techniques that, that Mr. J Matthews, which is our production god here. We can't do what we do without him. There's techniques that, that go through what Mark and Jay do, as well as, also the blending and things like that Mark and Sherri do.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of tedious tasks that make up this juice that a lot of distilleries, it's craft.
We are so fortunate to have a great team, and with Brian Booth and Jay Matthews and Sherri and myself, that's it. That's really the whole team. There's four of us that produce and bottle all that is out there. We have some real good friends that come in that Jay has, that he's known, that will actually help label, which is great. So without that, we probably wouldn't be able to do it. But they just come in once in a while and help us out. And we love them. And they're volunteers.
That's great. That's a great thing, Mark. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because I remember when I visited back in August, the production, I don't think everyone realizes that everything is truly done hands-on by the core team right there in Louisville. And it's like a smaller production. To have such a larger output, you would think is like this massive, huge facility with like hundreds or thousands of people, but it's like a smaller hands-on feel, but it everything works out. I mean, great. Like from your bottling station to your labeling station to everything, right? The blending, everything is all done there. And I love that. I mean, that's another reason why I need to again at least get on the list for the locker so I can be there more often and eventually have my locker and be able to experience Oak Carter hands-on a lot more than I am now. So
we have a 6-bottle gravity filler, and this man right here, he hand bottles a
lot of them, almost.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I love filling
gravity filler. That's
bottles.
That's it.
That is
in
awesome.
steaks.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Yesterday we did 2,900 bottles. Then that was the 3 of us, and plus we had a really great volunteer team. We had Jay's, kids actually helping us.
I love it.
And they were great helpers.
I love it. If we move to Louisville, you're gonna have I call her mini judge. We're gonna sign her up. She's gonna be right there helping on the Oak Carter line also. So
hey, listen,
love it.
Listen, after the 3rd hour, it becomes a work. All right, it becomes like a job. All right,
I hear you.
Following for almost 6 hours, and you're like, I don't know if I want to do this.
Terrence, thanks for the support, my friend. Really appreciate you, Terrence. And then Tyler, yeah, I mean, I get it, Tyler. It's definitely difficult, right? It's one of the things where, because Oak Carter is definitely a premium brand, it makes it harder to find in some occasions. But, I would say this is one of the things that has helped me in finding Oak Carter is I go to a lot of different stores, but there's like 4 or 5 stores that I really frequent a lot. So if you're in a market where Oak Carter is actually is in that market, Tyler, make sure that you're making the relationship with your store owners, asking, hey, when Oak Carter comes in, I'm checking out their website, can you hold a bottle for me? Those small things, I know a lot of times people think that it doesn't pay off, but it actually does pay off. I am a fan of being able to leverage some of my partnerships with the local store managers to get a certain bottle of like Oak Carter that I really wanted bad. Case in point, this bottle right here, the DC. I knew it was coming out and reached out to my local store and said, hey, whenever this comes out, if I'm not on the list, we're going to have an issue. And I got a phone call, Judge, come in. It's on the list. It's here. You can come grab it. So got to make those partnerships.
Marcus, that's what you're saying is a great thing. Great advice for anybody who's looking for bottles. Where we're at is get to know your retailer.
Yep.
And, if you buy a lot of, products from them, you're become a loyal, customer, and they appreciate that. And you can ask them to put something away for you or give me a call. I will be right down to pick it up. And that's with all the great products that are out there and all the different brands.
So I've been collecting for over 15 years. And I used to call it PR bottles. Public relation bottles, all right? Get some beer from them, buy some wine, okay?
Absolutely.
Don't just go after, everybody wants the high quality stuff, right? Well, give me some love on the back end, then I'll give you some love on the front end, right?
You have to.
You pick 1 or 2 stores and give those stores love, all right? Let them know who you are, what you do. You're in the community. I am a local.
Yep.
You do that and it will pay off. Now, it's going to take some time if you're just starting out, but you just can't spread yourself thin because you won't get anything. Mr. Benson, how are you?
Blake, how you doing?
How are you, brother? Absolutely.
Quality over quantity. I love it, Blake.
Always love Blake.
Yeah.
How are you, Mr. Benson?
Indeed.
Shout out to you, brother. Hope you're doing good in Ohio there.
Good stuff. What part of Ohio is your buddy in, Blake?
He's
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincinnati area.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very nice. We have a lot of Cincinnati people in the house today. I love it. Very nice.
Cheers, Mr. Cooper. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks, David Cooper. Really appreciate it, man. No, I mean, you're right. I mean, it's all about quality over quantity. I mean, I think the last thing, even for us enthusiasts, right? The last thing any of us want is to have Oak Carter in 50 states, but then the whiskey tastes like, I don't know, like you said earlier, Brian, Oak Carter mixed with like, a ton of water where you're not even enjoying the whiskey anymore. No one wants that, right? We want quality whiskey. So you might have to drive a little bit, but at least if you can find it, and you're happy. You're a happy camper. So, which is good, which is really good. All right. So here's a question that I had, and this has been on my mind. It's been like just burning in my brain. I would love to know, Oak Carter, your own distillate. Will we ever down the road, maybe see that in the future? What do you guys think?
Mr. Carter's pouring himself some DC1. He just poured me some DC1. So cheers out there to all of our Prestige Ledroit people and all that. So I'm going to let Mr. Carter take the reins on our own distillate there.
All right.
And then I'll chime in maybe once he's done there.
I like it.
Well, when I was pouring, I kind of missed the question.
Don't worry, Mark. So I know myself and even a lot of my subscribers have reached out and said, hey, do you ever think Oak Carter will end up with their own distillate, like their own distillate that they're making, producing, aging, and so forth? What are your thoughts from that one, Mark? And if you can't give it away, maybe
we have been, ever since we started the second brand, Old Carter, we started distilling in 17. So early 17. And so we have quite a few barrels already put up, and we keep putting them up, which is great, with different mash bills and unique mash bills. Sometimes, something that we just come up with. We got wheaters, we've got ryes, we've got some of the stuff we really like. We really love a 99% corn mash bill.
99.1, baby.
Eastern Kentucky here.
99.1.
I love it. 99
right here. Give me the corn.
Yeah.
Give me that sweet butter corn.
Sweet cut of corn.
Sweet butter corn, baby.
Yeah.
I love it. That's good stuff.
And so we are doing that. Probably next 1 year from now, roughly, I think we'll be able to try some to see what we can do, because it will be 6 years old.
Okay. Okay. Wow. So
we have 6, 7. We start really playing. Almost everything we've done is at least 7 years old. A lot of times, what's in there too is stuff that goes all the way to 15 years old.
Sure. Yeah.
We do like to blend a little bit of film, kind of different years together too sometimes. So
absolutely. All right. That is, Mark, you just had music to my ears. If I could stand up and dance, I would, but I'm not going to, because no one wants to see the bourbon judge dance.
hey, listen, I don't mind seeing that.
Yeah, maybe we'd pay for that.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
Put $20 in there.
She might divorce me. She might divorce me if I start dancing. But so, all right, that's good to know. So, all right, so Oak Carter has their own distillate aging right now and different stuff. Wheaters, bourbons. Oh, this is amazing.
We got some really cool different mash bills going on.
And ryes.
Yeah,
and ryes.
We got some really cool mash bills, man, that we can't say anything else, but that I don't know if anybody else is doing on one.
Thank you, Larry, very much.
Larry, that's awesome, Larry. Thanks so much.
Hey, Larry.
We love being in Tennessee.
We love TEM, baby.
Yeah, we'll be down there to say hi to everybody soon.
That is awesome. That is so cool. Such a cool
Thank
thing.
you,
all right, what do we have here? So we have Terrence, you're requesting, what is that? You're requesting more haircuts with Sherri on Instagram.
I think there'll be more of those.
Yeah, I think so too.
I love it. Good stuff. That is too funny, Terrence. Good stuff. Oh man. Zoolander, we appreciate you, my friend. Thanks so much. VB Tom. Yeah, I will say, VB Tom, you can't go wrong with any of the Oak Carter products, no matter if you're a rye fan, a bourbon fan, or American whiskey fan. There's truly, I've never had, I don't even know how many bottles of Oak Carter I own now, plus the ones I've already finished as well. I've never had a bad batch. So if I can tell you the proof is in the pudding, literally the proof is in the pudding. And I'm only buying things again if I enjoy it. So the fact that I have like 5 here, that means I really enjoy it a lot. So definitely the proof is in the pudding.
Thank you, Marcus.
Amen. I said, proof's in the pudding. Absolutely.
Indeed. So Brian, I want to know what's something that's coming up, between maybe some of the ryes that you might be releasing next year, bourbons or American whiskey that you're interested in, Brian.
Oh, these Americans all day.
Americans all day.
Oh,
really?
Oh, get them.
Okay.
Get them. Okay. Now we'll say this. So my favorite rye up until the 10 was batch 9.
Okay. Yep.
Love batch 9.
Yeah.
And this 10 is an epic, dark, really, really, really complex, in deep in richness rye.
Okay.
If you're a bourbon fan, if you're a bourbon fan wanting and you like high proof, if you're a bourbon fan wanting high proof, this is the rye for you. If you're thinking, hey, I don't like rye, I'm not telling you to get a bottle. I'm telling you just to get a sample of it somewhere, somehow, because this will make you a believer. I promise.
You know, and our rye mash bill, most of them are really 95.5.
Yeah.
But you know, should have a lot of spice to them, but they really drink really smooth.
Yeah.
And you know, they are more almost bourbon-esque. You know,
Yeah.
And this one takes the cake.
It takes
It
the cake.
really
All
does.
right.
I'm just not saying it. I fully advocate what I say. I vouch and I stand behind what I say. And to that point, these Americans coming out.
Yeah.
Now I've got to try both of them. I do have a winner, but I'm not saying it.
Okay.
All right. But both of them are beautiful.
they're
All right.
stylistically different. You know, one may be a little more fruit forward, and one may be a little, more wood and earth and richness on it. You know, it's just darker and a lighter. You know, more lofty. You know, so
Okay. I like that. I like that. All
they're
right.
both. I think they're both delicious, as I would say.
I think the best two American whiskeys that we've done yet.
And well, for
that's saying a
people
lot
that
too.
don't- Marcus, with people that don't actually know our American whiskey, they're all pretty high proof. They're really up there. They've all been over 130 proof. These are going to be like 131,
131, 132.
Yeah, and you're right. They're all up there. Like this one right here, batch 5, 134.9, which is funny because it's high proof to your point, Mark. But in a lot of cases, not always. Maybe this one does actually sit very definitely on the upper end. But a lot of them I've even had that are like in the 130s. Sometimes they even sip like a 115, 110 almost. They're not extremely like hot because they're so well rounded. Because you guys did a great job in blending them, which I love. So.
It's all about balance.
It's all about balance.
And I will say this, the consistency of Old Carter is balance, complexity, and everything we put out may be different, but it's always going to be great.
Indeed. Absolutely. Absolutely. For sure. T. Jared, thank you so much, my friend, as well as Mel. Thanks so much, Mel, for the support of the channel. So I got a quick question for you, Mark. I want to kind of just pivot off of what Brian said. So, and if it's the same response, completely okay. Are you on the same boat? Is the American whiskey of your products like the thing that you're really excited about for 2023? Or is it something different? Is it the rise of the bourbons?
You know, it just really depends. I whatever's in my glass at the time is my favorite. But, it seems like we try to do them certain times of the year. And, right now, we just turned out, that batch 10 rye, and I'm into that, batch 10 rye. But I'm so excited about these two American whiskeys, it's just like, oh my God.
Wow. That's awesome.
To that point though, Marcus, you say 2023, I mean, these are going to come out probably right before the beginning of the year. So, I mean, sky's the limit for Old Carter in 2023. That's the most beautiful thing. Like, we don't even know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
that's true.
Could we put out better Americans? Who knows? Could we put out another rye that could we don't know, but what we do know is it's always great whiskey.
Always great whiskey.
That's our goal.
And Blake, thank you very much for saying you really enjoy the Carter Cellar of Wines. I appreciate that.
That's all. That's nice. And see, that's another great reason why, Mark, down the road, if there ever is a way to kind of leverage, obviously your of course your wine cellar line, if you will, that you can always use as another finished product. I'm a huge fan of just bourbons that are finished in wine barrels, not like as like the norm, if you will, but just like once in a blue moon. So being able to leverage obviously the Carter cellars, that's a magic, just a magic made moment.
Well, perfect. You never know.
Never know.
Stay tuned.
I feel like there's something going on that you guys can't say, but that's okay. That's all right. I love it. We'll keep that. We'll keep our lips sealed. That's too funny. TCT. I understand. Yeah. So Washington State. I was thinking Washington D.C. I was gonna say I can find this all the time in Washington D.C. Oh, Washington State. Okay. Yeah.
You got to come to California to get it. That's the closest place, I think.
Indeed. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That is so
we
true.
Appreciate the love, TCT.
Yeah. Thank you.
No, absolutely. Mrs. Judge said if we lived in Louisville, she would definitely have a volunteer job working with you, Brian.
Listen, we would absolutely.
We would take all the help we can get.
We would absolutely take you up on that.
Indeed, indeed. All right, so here's a question for you guys. So there's a lot of changes. We were talking about this earlier, kind of behind the scenes in the whiskey world. Companies like we're talking about, like Wilderness Trail, they sold off and so forth. There's a lot of other companies that are now starting up. With the whiskey world changing, are there any changes planned for Oak Carter, either in terms of not so much like from selling, but like from like a partnership standpoint? Any partnerships like with either other distilleries or other premium brands that might just be like a one-off type of it's kind of almost like a test and learn kind of a situation for 2023?
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Just stay tuned.
Yeah. You never know.
You don't know.
We never rule anything out.
We
don't
anything
know.
out. Who knows what tomorrow brings?
We try to keep our nose down, just make great whiskeys, and anything is possible.
And I'm just
and everything is possible.
Anything and everything is possible. So here's why I love working with and being a part of Oak Carter is that we have the ability to, because we're so small, we do have the ability to pivot on a whim. We do have the ability to do this or do that. We don't know what's coming up tomorrow. We don't know what's coming up next week.
And and the best part is I'm back to the team. We sit down and we talk and we find out, what do you all think?
Communicate.
Because there's so much knowledge between all the people and on the team. Brian's been with whiskey for years, and Jay has been with whiskey for years. And they, all types of parts of it. They're enthusiasts too. They're not just.
We're all passionate.
We're very passionate.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. That is really cool. No, and I get it. That is.
And cheers to passion. I think that's what brings us together. So cheers to the whiskey.
Yeah.
Cheers to the whiskey. Indeed.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Sure. No, Troy, we appreciate you. Thanks for joining in, dialing in tonight, Troy. We appreciate it, my friend. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
So Biking Bourbon asked a good question. I think this is great. Biking Bourbon City stopped by at the downtown Louisville location, and you guys were closed. Are there set hours if you're part of the like just either the stop in or part of the club, or how does that work?
Yeah, so I think so Marcus, I'll take this. So here at the actual distillery, we're such a small facility and production facility that here at the distillery, we don't have any public tours or tastings because we really don't have anything. Like Mark was saying, we don't even have American whiskey. We don't have a lot of these. In fact, so the whiskey that we have that we're tasting tonight came from Mark's house.
And they're not full bottles.
And they are not full bottles.
So we're getting down to the.
We're the nitty gritty right now. So, but that's what we want to really kind of have our clientele, our supporters, and our lovers understand that we take so much pride into getting stuff out to you that we don't have a whole lot of stuff here
even left over for you guys to have.
Right.
And since there's only four of us, we really need to concentrate on actually, blending it and putting it in a bottle and getting it out to the market.
Yes.
Yeah, makes sense. It does. It completely does. No, I appreciate that. And that's good to know. I mean, I think that's one of the things I do respect, that it's not like you guys have just, hundreds of bottles all around, in the downtown Louisville location that you're just, kind of, serving like the people that come in or whatever. Truly, everything that you guys are bottling for the most part is going out from a distribution standpoint. So trying to get it out to everyone here that's on the live stream and all the other masses, across the US. So we respect that. That's a good point, Brian. I appreciate that as well. And thanks, Mark, for that. Cheers for that. Transparency. I love it. Rob Sullivan, thanks so much, my friend. Really do appreciate it. Phil Brickman, we're gonna have to get you some Oak Carter in New Orleans. I'm not sure about what New Orleans looks like, but we'll make sure, Phil, that we give you a little taste of Oak Carter.
You're right there. You're Mr. Phil. You're right there in Oak Carter country, brother.
We have a great distributor down there.
We have a great distributor. We have a really great presence. We have quite a few people actually in the Locker Club from New Orleans. I don't know if anybody's online right now, but they're our products down there. So. Yeah. Awesome. It's back to that PR bottles, man. Yeah. Get with one, get with
Absolutely.
one little mom and pop or whatever,
And that really works good too.
Yes.
It's the small little places that get some great stuff. You can see, it's a great shop. If it's a great, wine and whiskey shop, you walk in, they've got all the stuff. Just get to know them, and you'll get what you need.
Yep, eventually.
Indeed. That's a good point. And it's funny that you say that, Mark. I'm glad you said it too, because I was down in Maryland last week and hanging out with some of my patrons, and they were telling me that for them, when they're trying to find Oak Carter, because such a fantastic whiskey, sometimes harder to find because it's obviously a very great product, if you will. They're part of like whiskey clubs. And if someone gets a bottle, they share it. So Phil, hey, maybe it's time for you to start your own, let's call it Louisiana Whiskey Club. Grab some Oak Carter and share it with some of your friends. I mean, that's what it's all about.
It really is.
And there's
share with your friends. You get a bottle because we want you to taste it. We don't want it sitting on a shelf.
Exactly.
Really, it doesn't do anybody any good. It just looks good.
Yeah,
this is made to actually drink with friends.
Absolutely.
And Phil, to Mark's point, there's a lot of great whiskey clubs in the New Orleans, around Louisiana and New Orleans, that you can get with that. I'm sure they will, the love is there and they'll let you in. So kind of go, explore that route as well.
That is so true. Yeah, definitely look into like some existing whiskey clubs as well. You're right; they're all over. I know there's some huge ones. Louisiana. I know Texas also has some huge whiskey clubs. So Phil, definitely make sure you look. I'm sure you even like on Facebook, there's like different like whiskey groups as well that you can probably be a part of. So that's a huge thing. I know like in Delaware we have a couple of different Delaware Bourbon Society, the First State Brown Water Society. So be active as possible, and trust me, the whiskey is there for sure. Steve, I really appreciate. Thanks, Steve. So Steve said he enjoys everything that Mark and Sherri's putting out. I mean, it's great whiskey as a whole. I mean, there's not much more to say to that one, Steve. We really appreciate it, man, for sure. TJ said he's really excited about your own distillate. I am too. I'm really excited to see what that's.
Me too. Like, I can't wait till it's out. Like, I am excited for it. You and me both there, Mr. Jarrett, for sure.
It was very fun. We did draw some samples a month or two ago, and we brought them in just to taste them to see where we were at almost over 5 years. And so some of them were really starting to show. So we know it's just around the corner, another year to 2 years. I think it's going to be fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, Richard, I couldn't agree more. Keep doing what you're doing, because don't change it. I mean, I know a lot of people will reach out to me, and it's funny because a lot of people will reach out, even like via email, and they'll say like, hey, don't you really think Oak Carter should just make more? And I'm like, no, not really. No, I don't want them making too much where it's like, again, I don't want to break down the quality just because it could be in every state or every other state. I'd rather have it where it's slightly, might be harder to find, but at least I know when I do find it, I'm going to love it, not like it. That's a huge difference of loving whiskey versus liking whiskey. I like a lot of whiskey, but I love probably a select, very small group. Yours,
Richard,
of course,
thank you very much too for the great comments.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. House.
Yes.
Indeed. Absolutely. This is a good one. I didn't realize. Okay. So LA. Okay. So 2-LA.
Boy, that was a good VSB, man. Woo!
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Mr. Benson. Boom. Absolutely. 2LA was a very, very good VSB. Agreed. 2LA was really nice.
So those, a lot of times, I don't know if everybody knows, but when it says very small batch, and that's what that is, it's all we've done so far on those. It's a 3-barrel blend, and it ends up being, somewhere between 500 and 700 bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so very small. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. ESBs are very small batch, and are small batches.
It's such a crazy deal because, small batch really doesn't mean much, and even very small batch probably doesn't mean very much unless we tell you, know, how many barrels are in a small batch and how many barrels are in a very small batch.
Yeah. So in a normal traditional batch, not the very small batch, but like a normal traditional batch, no matter what it is, 9 of the rye, 10 of the rye, and so forth, how many bottles are you typically releasing in a standard batch, not the very small batches?
Well, I think the most we've ever done is about 2,900 bottles. I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yesterday might have been the most we've ever put in, which was a 15-barrel blend. we try when we were at a different facility where we would bottle, they had bigger tanks. And so we finally moved over at the first of the year to do everything here on our own property.
Okay.
And we're just trying to get the feel of everything, which is, and how it works. And it's a very small spot here, so it's very tight. And Jay has done a phenomenal job.
I want to give out, listen, Jay Matthews is not only a logistical genius.
He's like he loves puzzles.
The amount of things he can fit in a space just absolutely blows my brain. I was like, look at all this. It's like, yeah, sure. It's like, I got this. And so we'll fit this here. It is beautiful. That man has, I don't know if you remember A Beautiful Mind, but that guy, that's
Jay.
The movie was based on Jay Matthews. So here's to Jay Matthews.
Here's to Jay.
Here's to Jay. I love it. That's awesome.
You are a beautiful mind, sir.
That is awesome. That's so cool. Hey, it goes to show, hey, Jay's making use of every single square foot in the Louisville location. Here's the Jay.
People could not have bottles if it wasn't for Mr. Jay Matthews.
I hear that.
I wholeheartedly mean that. I really, really hope that people understand that.
I had a great time. I was actually pouring wine at Travel Bar.
Oh, okay.
Mike, who owns Travel Bar, has a great selection of Old Carter, and he was pouring those himself, at the bar. And it's always great to, see. He had 10 different Old Carters on the back bar.
Wow.
And he was pouring them at such a wonderful, reasonable price. So it's a great spot to, if you're in, it's in Brooklyn. If you are over there, go see Mike at Travel Bar.
At Travel Bar. Okay. He said in Brooklyn. All right. Good to know.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Thanks, Mark. That's really good. Good stuff. Definitely good stuff. No. Cheers. Thanks, Copper Wolf. Thanks for supporting. Really appreciate you. Larry Abbott. No, absolutely. You're right. It's the best bourbon for sure that you ever had. Share it with friends. I think that's one of the things that I love about being able to share whiskey. That's the thing, right? When you have fantastic whiskey like Old Carter, there's nothing better than sharing it with good friends. And I have a lot of different bourbon groups that I belong to. Friends will stop over, and I love being able to bring out like Old Carter, either the whiskey, the bourbon, or a rye, and being able to share it because you want others to share it and to experience it as well. So I agree with you, Larry. I'm going to cheers to you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you, Larry.
Cheers, Larry. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Abbott.
Absolutely, indeed. All right, so we have a couple of releases of American whiskey coming out that I am definitely now on the hunt for. So that's noted in my brain. That's good to know. So those keep me honest, Brian. Those are 2022 releases.
Yes, those will be out before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll say this. Hold on. Those will be out to distribution before the end of the year. What they do with those, we can't control.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
But they will be out within the next 2 to 3 weeks here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And should be out before the end of the year of 2022.
Yeah. Absolutely. Sure. Okay, that's good to know. That's a good point. So because it does hit distribution doesn't mean that it's necessarily out in the market exactly like on those that week and so forth. So sometimes within distribution it could take a couple weeks. It might be early January, but at least in the next 8 to 12 weeks we'll probably start seeing some of the newer releases, which is good.
I agree with that. It should be. Yes, sir, Marcus. Thank you.
Very helpful. No, that's helpful. Roger, I will tell you, my friend. And I will say this: even if you can't find an entire bottle, go to like what I always do a lot of times, like when I travel, like for work and stuff, I'll go to like a really nice whiskey bar. Any reputable whiskey bar is going to have Old Carter on their shelf. At least try a small pour of it, no matter if it's the bourbon, rye. I always say the bourbon of American whiskey. I'm an American whiskey guy, but definitely try the product at an upscale bar, and you'll trust me. I guarantee you'll love it, Roger. You'll definitely love it for sure. All right, so I know we're kind of getting close here. Who we have here? This is Ty. Thanks so much. We appreciate it. Thanks. Old Carter, your favorite bourbon.
Thank you, sir.
Love it. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. That is nice. So what do you think? I know Sherry's not with us, Mark and Brian, but I asked you guys earlier what your favorite whiskeys were that were coming out. What do you think Sherry would say if I had to ask her that question? Which one would she say?
I
between
think
the bourbon, rye, or
you
American whiskey?
probably say about the same thing, you know. They're all our babies that we've created. And so you're usually excited about the new baby, it seems like, you know. But you still have favorites that you made and fell in love with. Maybe it was the first rye or that you did, or maybe it's, you know, batch 5 bourbon that, you know, surprised us or something like that. Or, you know, like batch 10 rye that surprised us recently, you know?
Yeah.
It's two Americans that were just ball hitters.
So I'm sure she, you know, we think very similar. We answer the question at the same time usually, you know. So, you know, I think that's why we do so well when we blend together, you know.
Indeed. I love it. So you have to tell us this story here, Mark. See, it looks like you in fun spirits kidnapped by the
Carter nap.
Yeah, the Carter napped.
The Carter nap. I love that.
Yeah.
So I was Carter nap my first week. We went to one of our places, and so.
Well, if you get in my car, you may not get out. And that's usually the problem, you know. I'll take you around, show you the sights wherever I'm at, you know. I love driving around, I guess, you know.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So you need to see this, you need to see that, you know. I could be, you know, honorary mayor in any place I'm at because I just love showing. And Brian Booth it was so funny. I was sitting here and somebody called and to see if they could come in and do a tasting. And Brian said, we don't do that. But he told these people that just random people that called 50 things to see and do in Kentucky.
Right before.
I'm going, yes, you know, we're here to help.
Listen, it's not, we really appreciate our lovers, our supporters, and the people who really enjoy drinking our whiskey. Thank you. But if I cannot host you, if I cannot bring you into our distillery, I'm going to tell you where to go. I'm going to tell you what to do. Yeah. I'm an advocate for Kentucky. All right. I love Old Carter, but I'm a Kentucky boy. I'm from Southeast Kentucky. All right. I'm an educated hillbilly. Okay. All right. Listen, I will absolutely give you the experience that I want because that, in my opinion, it's the best.
It's the best.
Right? That's what I would want to do if I were out in Kentucky. Yeah. You know? So it's just not about the experience here at Old Carter. It's the experience of Kentucky because that's what it's about. You know, it's about having a good time. It's about sharing not only this juice, but the juice of everybody.
Absolutely.
When everybody does, when they do good, we do good.
Everybody lifts up.
When we do good, they do good.
Yep.
So why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Great point, Brian. That's a valid point.
It's just like what you said at the beginning. Sharing is caring. All right. Share Kentucky.
Absolutely.
And then it's beautiful. It's a gorgeous place.
Brian's not very passionate about anything.
No. I agree with you. I totally agree. I'm making my small, I call it a business case that I have to sell to my wife of our transition to Kentucky. I have like a roadmap of our plan to somehow end up living in Kentucky in the next, 3 to 5 years. So I'm working on it because it's such a great place. I love it. I love Kentucky.
I want to do one shout out again to Blake. That night that we did the, getting Carter napped Blake and everything. But he is such a wonderful man too, that he will always share whatever he brings to Kentucky from Ohio down. He always has a really wonderful amount of bourbons, whiskeys, and ryes. Nice. And he's just a wonderful man. And I wanted to say thank you, Blake, for everything you do for Old Carter and the community.
That's awesome.
I will second that, Blake. You and I have been friends now for quite a while now, and what you do for the whiskey community in general, as America as a whole. Thank you.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree. That's great. Thanks for that.
If you can ever make it to a Blake Benson party, you listen. You will not be disappointed.
It's a good time.
A good time.
A great experience.
Okay. All right. I love it. I love it.
Everything in between.
No, that sounds like a real party. I like it. Now I know where to go when I do get there. All right. So Copper Wolf wants to know, maybe in like even like in certain, let's call it I don't know if it's like certain promotions, will we ever see Oak Carter on your website as like a buy now via this partnership at some point in time? I know we kind of covered that a little bit earlier, but I know Copper Wolf I think just recently joined, so I'll let Brian or you, Mark, if you want to kind of cover that from that perspective.
It's really hard for us to do shipping anywhere, and that's what it would be if we were to have something offered on the website. But we've discussed it, but you have to have a license in each state, compliance in each state, and we're just too small for that. Truly,
it's tough. It's tough.
So
I don't see it. I don't foresee it in anywhere in the near future. It's just too difficult, and it's just it's not feasible.
Yep. No, it makes sense. It does. And that is challenging. I get it. Right. I mean, even trying to ship and everything, just, being able to sell online, it's a lot from a logistics standpoint. It really is a lot. And again, the core focus of Oak Carter is making sure that you get, the whiskey out to the masses. So it's hard to be able to produce it and to, try to ship it and have orders and everything all online. That's a whole nother level. I mean, that's
a difficult realm to get into. And
it is. Jay might even though Jay has a beautiful mind, he might still explode if you guys did.
He probably would.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that to Jay. That's Jay. Look out for you, Jay.
Indeed. All right, let's go ahead and let's wrap it up real quick here. So we're gonna have Mrs. Judge. I'm gonna have her. Let me get her on the horn here to give away some of the swag that we have. Let me make sure she's ready here. So we're gonna have a couple of different items. We're gonna start with the Oak Carter fun stuff. So these are gonna be surprise items from Oak Carter, and I'll put it out there while Mrs. Judge is getting everything ready. So for all the different prizes, if your name is listed, Mrs. Judge will put the comment here. Please just reach out to me. Again, just go directly to my website, thebourbonjudge.com. Just send me a note with your name, your address, and I'll make sure that I coordinate with Brian if you won some of the Oak Carter swag. And then obviously any items from myself, the Bourbon Judge, of course, I'll ship out to you directly. So, all right, Mrs. Judge, I think we are ready for our first winner of Old Carter swag. There's 6 winners, by the way, so it's gonna be a lot of different winners. So who's the first winner from the Old Carter swag bag, if you will? I like it. We had a lot of people tonight, which is fun. So we'll see. We'll get the name from Mrs. Judge. So you guys were bottling today. I think you said, how many was it? Was it 2,900? I think I heard
yesterday.
We bottled 29 yesterday. Tomorrow we're going to be about 2,800. And
wow.
So that was 14 barrels we dumped into our tanks that we have. So
that's a lot of whiskey. Goodness. Oh, that's awesome.
14, yeah. We did 14. We dumped 14 barrels today, and then we'll be bottling for about 5.5 hours to 6 hours tomorrow.
That's awesome. Very nice. All right. So it looks like Copper Wolf is our first winner. So Copper Wolf, congratulations
Wolf.
Yeah.
Copper Wolf. All right. Good stuff, Copper Wolf. All right. So that's our first winner of the Old Carter swag. Let's go to our second winner of Old Carter swag, Mrs. Judge. Let's get the name.
Yeah. Which one?
Let's do the right. We haven't done the right yet.
We have so many, a lot of people that really, I know, support the channel, always dialed in. Larry Abbott, thanks for that one. Good stuff for sure. Really appreciate it. Oh, this is a good one. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Starting 3. Really appreciate it. All right. Our second winner goes to, let me see here. All right. David Cooper. All right.
Congratulations, Cooper.
Congrats, David Cooper. All right, my friend. Great job, David. We appreciate it. David's always supporting the channel. Always, what I love about, because I think, Brian, you mentioned this earlier, right? It's all about the community. David Cooper is one of my patrons. He's always giving me different ideas. Hey, Judge, you should try doing this on the channel. You should try X, maybe you should reach out to, like, in this case, like Oak Carter, see if you can get them on the channel. David is always giving me ideas. So, David, I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much for all that you do for the
Thank you, David Cooper.
Yeah, Mr. Cooper, and that's what perpetuates this whiskey engine. So thank you.
Indeed, absolutely. All right, Mrs. Judge, let's get our third winner of the Old Carter swag bag. That's a cool name too. I might have to trademark that one. Oh, I love it. I love it. I will tell you one of the things I loved about Oak Carter, even from the beginning, is honestly Sherri's artistic ability. I love her artwork. I love it. I love
Fabulous.
Oh my gosh, she's like
Cheers to that artwork.
Yeah.
She let's take a cheers to Miss Sherri
and
her
her creative abilities that she does.
It's great to have an in-house marketing. Okay,
that's our art department of one.
Yeah.
Creative ability.
Everybody wishes they had that.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Cheers to Sherri.
Yes, absolutely.
Cheers to Sherri. I'm gonna cheers to myself. There we go. Cheers to Sherri. There we go. I love it. All right. So the third winner is who's that? It's Zoolander.
Hey, Mr. Zoolander. I love your name, by the way.
Yeah.
That is a cool name, right? Zoolander. I love it. Very nice, Zoolander. Congratulations. So just reach out to me, Zoolander. Again, just thebourbonjudge.com. Send me your information, and I'll make sure I get all this information over to Brian, and we'll get everything out. All right. Swag bag number 4 from O. Carter. Mrs. Judge, if you can move on to the next contestant, if you will. It's like The Price is Right almost in a way.
$1, Bob.
Oh, it's too funny.
$1, Bob.
It's too funny. So, Mark, here's a question for you. How often are you and Sherri going back and forth between California to Louisville? What's like is it a set schedule, or is it kind of just depend on the, what's going on?
Well, it depends on what's going on. We're here mostly because there's so much to do here in Louisville. We are working on another building so that we can actually have a little more room. We have to do everything by hand. There's no forklift here. We don't have enough space. So the other building, we're working on that. And then, also I need to also take care of the wine business that I have. And I also have a hotel and restaurant. So I'll go back and forth and take care of those things. And I'll do winemaker dinners around the country also. And I was just down in Mississippi. So, but they're short trips. And then I'm back here because this is where, we need to be right now. This is what's growing, for us.
Absolutely, from a business standpoint.
And, we need to take care of it.
Indeed. All right, cool. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you, Mr. House. I agree. Yeah. That art is on point. Thank you.
Yeah. And, you have to remember, Kentucky Owl bottle was first designed by Sherri also.
That's so true. That is a great point, Mark. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I never realized how talented, honestly, Sherri was until when I came to your Louisville location and I walked around a little bit and she showed us, everything.
And her paintings are phenomenal. She's going to have an art opening here coming up
the 15th.
On the 15th over
here in Louisville.
In Louisville
at Neat Bar.
And it's a great bar, and it's great to be able to even talk about that.
Yeah, Danny and Owen have absolutely knocked it out of the park. A
must-see place. Because a lot of fabulous dusties that they have. Good prices.
Really good prices.
Fair price.
The Neat Bar. Love the Neat Bar. Such a cool place. Okay, so
Neat
Sherri has
Bar,
there on the 15th. All right. Oh, man. If I can get to Louisville on the 15th, that might be a little difficult, but I'm going to do my best. All right. So our fourth winner goes to Nick Massey. All right, cool. Congratulations, Nick Massey. Awesome. Very nice. All right. Let's move over to before we do the 5th and the 6th winner, we'll come back. Let's do the Bourbon Judge Mini Glens, Mrs. Judge. Let's do the Mini Glens. Wow. So Sherri's going to be at the Neat Bar.
She's going to have a little
art opening there, a show of some of her new paintings.
Very nice. That's awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, I love her artwork. She is like truly talented, like on another level. It was like, it was very eye-opening when I had a chance to check it out. It was really cool. Really cool.
And Blake's shouting out, and we love Dan and Julie they've been great supporters of Old Carter, and can't wait to see them again. They come to town.
They're really good people. That is a great point, Blake. I'm glad you mentioned that because the whiskey tube world truly does support and love, honestly, Old Carter. I mean, you guys have done a fantastic job of, there's one thing to create your brand, but to maintain it over a period of time says a lot about the brand. And you guys have done a fantastic job. Hence the reason why Dan, Julie, myself, I mean, there's so many different Scott, Mash and Drum. Everyone loves, honestly, the Old Carter brand because you guys put so much time and effort into it. So definitely keep doing what you're doing for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, of course. Anytime. All right. Our next winner from Mrs. Judge, the winner of the Bourbon Judge Mini Glens is, Mel. Mel Davis. Congratulations, Mel. Mel, please reach out to me. I'll make sure to get those glasses out to you. All right, let's go back to let's have some Old Carter swag. It's just such a cool name. I like that so much better. I like it better than even the Bourbon Judge name. So we're going for winner number 5 of the Old Carter swag. Mrs. Judge, whenever you get a chance. And Blake, yeah, you're right. I did actually get a chance. I actually did have the book from Sherri. That's on my list to read as well. There's a lot. Sherri does it all. I mean, she's
very busy.
She's a busy woman. She's a busy woman, literally. Indeed. That's awesome. All right, so winner number 5 of the Old Carter swag. Okay. Oh, Terrence. Congratulations, Terrence. So Terrence Walker. So congrats. Terrence was talking about trying to get Old Carter earlier. I remember I saw your comment, Terrence, trying to get Old Carter in Pennsylvania. Terrence, just make a small 45-minute drive south and just grab it in Maryland, Terrence. It's just easier.
Pennsylvania is a tough state.
Very
controlled.
Control state, yeah. The control state. They are very difficult to say the least, literally.
August, I want to give a shout out to another person that has really advocated Old Carter.
Yeah, please.
Matt at HD, ADHD.
Yeah.
So, love that.
Thank you, Matt.
Matt's
and I would like to thank all the people. I didn't even know YouTube, whiskey tubers were there. One night I'm, like flipping through YouTube and this, I said Old Carter and all these, reviews came up and I go, oh my God, Sherri, you got to check this out. It's crazy. And, just kind of became friends with everybody out there. It's just, you guys have such a great community too,
Indeed. No, thank you, Mark. I really appreciate that. No, I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's it's definitely there's such a ton of great people. And Brian, to your point, Matt from ADHD. This is just, there's so many great whiskey tubers just in general, and so many that I know personally love Old Carter products. So it's nice to be able to have such a great community. So
if I forget your name, my apologies, but thank you, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Indeed. For sure. Definitely. All right, let's go over to absolutely. Yep. Blake's talking about, that's a good friend of mine. Good guy too. Such a great guy who also loves
Jason's one of the great
Jason's
ones.
Awesome. Yes, sir.
Yeah, awesome. Super cool guy.
Yeah, Dan Kidd.
Dan Kidd.
Scott.
Good people.
Scott, yep.
Scott, yep, from my there's so many just great people. Chad and Sarah, it's my bourbon
Chad
night.
Cheers to Chad and Sarah, if you're on here, miss you all.
Indeed.
From the Lexington, Kentucky Bourbon Society days.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Very nice. I love that connection there. I like that, Brian. Very nice.
I was on the original board.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Cool.
All right. I'm starting to see now, Brian. All right. I get the connections now.
I was on the original board for the Frankfurt Bourbon Society. So cheers to them.
All right. I love it, Brian. Very nice.
Yep.
All right, Mrs. Judge, let's go with our 6th and final winner of the Old Carter swag bag before we move over to the whiskey. So, Old Carter, Mrs. Judge, number 6. Who is our final winner from the Old Carter? We'll get that here teed up. I'm trying to still, figure out which of these 3. I love all of them equally, but it's hard if I wanted to pick one just to sip one all night because they're similar but yet so different at the same time. I can't even figure it. 5.
5 American. I'm sure.
American. I love it. That is too funny. So true, Brian. That's a good one. That is a good one. Good stuff. Oh, all right. Our last
Richard
winner
House.
of the
Richard
Old
House.
Carter swag. Richard House. Congrats, Richard. Awesome. That's awesome, Richard. Yeah, please reach out, Richard, either my website or I know Mrs. Judge is throwing in the my email address here as well. Either one is fine. Well, I'll make sure I coordinate with Brian and get everything sent out. That's awesome. All right, Mrs. Judge, let's go over to the whiskey flight. Let's get going to the whiskey flight, Mrs. Judge.
Here it is.
Let's end this off on a final night of someone who's going to get some great Old Carter whiskey. And I really love sharing whiskey. If I'm sharing this batch 5 is hands down, I'm going to call one of the best 5 whiskeys I've ever had in my entire life.
Jeez.
Let it be known. That's how much I'm sharing with everyone. That's how much I love it.
Amen.
Hands
I
down.
will
Thank you,
absolutely,
Marcus.
I will
Thank you.
absolutely encore that. That batch 5 American is on point, but just wait for 9 and 10.
Ooh.
Just wait.
I love it.
And Brian.
91, 99.1, baby.
Marketing. Brian is good with
99.1.
marketing. I love it. That is awesome. That is too cool. All right, Mr. Judge. Oh, the flight winner. I think I missed it already. Hold on. We were just talking about him in Louisiana. Phil Brickman.
Oh,
Phil.
That's great.
Phil, congratulations.
Louisiana. There
Congrats.
you go.
Listen, man, that 5 that you're going to get is insane.
Insane. Absolutely. Well, hey, I want to just end this off. Number one, I just want to say thank you so much, Brian, Mark. Thank you so much for your time. You guys are super busy. We really appreciate
Cheers.
you guys coming on, sharing great whiskey with us, talking, learning everything about Oak Carter, what's coming out in, balance of year, but then also new year. I personally am really excited about the American whiskey batch 9 and 10 that's coming out. I'm excited about your new whiskey that's coming out next year. Some of the distillate, your own distillate as well, that will be coming out at some point. I'm uber excited. So I just want to say cheers to the Oak Carter brand.
Cheers
Mark,
to you,
Sherri,
Marcus.
Brian,
Cheers, Marcus.
Jay.
Thank you for having us.
To the
Cheers.
bourbon judge.
Cheers.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Mr.
Cheers,
Judge.
everyone. Thanks, everyone, for joining, guys and
And
ladies.
cheers,
Thanks,
cheers,
everyone.
all of our supporters and lovers out there. Thank you. We could not do this without you.
Here's to the whiskey community.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Have a great night.
Have a great
Have a
night.
wonderful night. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.